Hello and welcome to Davies Toyota, and to this, the all-new, all-electric Toyota bZ4X. In this video, I'm going to show you around some of the key features of the car, including the exterior. We'll jump inside and take a look through some of the interior specs, talk about its practicality, and I'll cover off some of the technologies available, as well as touch on the basics of charging for EVs for those who are new to it. And finally, we're going to take it for a spin to discuss its performance and economy, and just see how well it fares on our roads. So let's start by talking about the exterior details and look of the vehicle. Now, I personally really like this car. I think it's very futuristic and it's very brave of Toyota. They're starting this whole new kind of like shark nose, sloping front end design that we'll see on this particular car. And we'll see it carried across into the new Toyota CHR as well when that's released. I love this coloured detail they've got here above the top of the headlights, the full LED headlights. And the way they've kind of tried to carry that design through all along the front end with this chrome grille here and this black detailing, which nicely hides the front camera rather than it being like a large box or, you know, big obvious camera being in the front of it. I like the way they've tried to hide it in that black detail. I've also noticed, whilst looking around the car, we've got these nice air vents down here, which will aid the aerodynamics of the car, which we know is really going to help with the range of the vehicle, and that's really important with electric cars. And one of the other details I really like about it, they could have just kept this all white, but they've included this nice black gloss trim on the top of the bonnet, which breaks up the lines of the car. And following around the side, you've got this nice black trim that goes all around the front and rear wheel arches, gives you that really muscular SUV look, and it contrasts beautifully against this metallic white paint. I think this is a great colour for this car. You've got the large electric charging point at the front here as well, easy to locate. Black gloss mirrors, got this trim that runs all along the bottom. I do think it's got this nice sleek coupe style look to the car. It does look fantastic. And that continues at the rear. If we come around the back of the car, have a look at this. This is one of my favourite features at the rear of this car. This two-pronged spoiler. It's really futuristic and it looks dead sleek. And it slopes down nicely into this really elongated rear windscreen, giving it that coupe style look into this spoiler. And then we've got this beautiful light bar that runs the entire length of the back of the car. Now, there are currently 3 trim levels available for your bZ4X, and prices start from £46,110 for the entry-level Pure. With the Pure, you'll get 18-inch alloy wheels and an 8-inch Toyota Smart Connect multimedia system with wireless smartphone integration and Apple CarPlay with reverse cameras as standard kit. Upgrade to the Motion and you'll get the 12.3-inch HD Toyota Smart Connect multimedia system as opposed to the 8-inch, and you'll also receive a full 360 camera, heated front seats and puddle lights in the doors. Finally, pick the range-topping Vision and you'll get the 20-inch alloy wheels, a kick-action power tailgate, heated steering wheel as well as cooled and heated front seats, and even advanced parking assist where the car can park itself. So when you step inside the Toyota bZ4X, that futuristic design from the outside is continued inside as well. So we've got the instrument cluster set right high up here on the dashboard, nice and crystal clear and easy to see as a driver. There's loads of adjustability in this steering wheel, so you've got all the up and down and distance reach and stuff as well. The seats themselves are absolutely fantastic. Nice, big, comfy bucket seats. Leather on this particular car with this perforated centre. They're really stylish. Then the centre console is a talking point. I love this kind of gloss piano black finish they've put on it. Got the cubby hole here with a charging point inside there, USB port as well, so wireless charging pad. Then with it being automatic, obviously we've got the controls all here on a nice dial while they're gear stick. I like that. There's plenty of the switch gear and stuff, all in easy reach for the driver. Plenty of controls on the steering wheel as well. With the fit and finish, nice soft touch leathers everywhere. Not very much scratchy plastics or anything inside these vehicles. Really high quality. I do like that. One of my favourite things as well is the finish to the dashboard. They've got this nice cloth covering on the top of the dash here. Now, if you follow me into the rear of the car, let's take a look at what it's like for rear seat passengers. So when you follow me into the rear of the car, that quality continues into the back as well, which is really nice because some manufacturers do cheap out on the rear seats, whereas in this particular model, lots and lots of soft touch plastics. Again, nice bit of leather trim on the door and that black piano trim again on the door cards. Plenty of space back here as well. I've got the seat set in my driver's position. I'm 6'3" for reference, and I've got plenty of legroom, look just here. Nice wide open footwell so I can sit really comfortably in the back. Plenty of headroom as well for someone of my height, and this particular car has been specified with the panoramic sunroof, which does eat in slightly to the headroom, but not enough for it to be a concern. You've got Isofix, got a nice little shelved down armrest for the centre passengers here as well, a couple of cup holders, little cubby hole there. We've also got 2 USB-C charging points in the rear here for the passengers, and the air conditioning vents down the bottom here to make sure the rear seat passengers are also just as comfortable as the front seat passengers, which is a nice touch. One thing to also mention, with the car being electric, we've got a flat floor, which means the centre seat passengers have got plenty of legroom. So overall, yeah, I'm very impressed with the rear of this car. Let's take a look at the boot space. Finally, the boot capacity of the bZ4X with the rear seats up is 452 litres. This jumps to 1,611 litres with the rear seats folded down. There's also a flat load lip which helps you get large items in and out of the boot without much issue. And there's a small compartment under the boot floor for extra storage. So as you'd expect with Toyota, the car comes with a whole host of technology as standard. As I've already mentioned earlier on, you do get Apple CarPlay as standard, and that's wireless. And for Android users, if you pop your phone in here and plug it in by the provided USB port, you'll also get Android Auto. Also, with this car being the all-wheel drive, we also find ourselves having the X mode switch just here on the dash. X mode is a system that takes control of the car's all-wheel drive systems, and it will assist you in poor surfaces such as deep snow and bad mud. It's quite a handy feature to prevent you from getting stuck. You'll also get DAB radio and mobile phone integration for taking calls, radar-assisted cruise control, speed assist, as well as lane keep assist on all models of the bZ4X. Now, if you're new to electric cars, the thought of charging them might be quite daunting. So I'm going to take you through some easy steps to show you just how simple it is to charge your electric vehicle. First of all, you're going to want to locate a charging station, and you can do this with your car's navigation system. It will pinpoint your nearest charging point, and you can then set it as a destination in your nav.
The route guidance will start now.
Alternatively, you can download the app Zap Maps to your smartphone. Now, this app goes one step further than the car's internal navigation system and will provide you live updates on the charging stations you're looking at. It will tell you who the provider is and how much it's going to cost to charge there. It will let you know if there's a queue or anyone already using that charging point, or indeed whether that charging point is active or whether there's a fault on it or not, which will prevent you from arriving only to be disappointed and realise you can't charge your vehicle there. So I do recommend using that app. Once you've found your charging station, follow the provider's on-screen instructions to get it started. Most chargers take contactless payment, and you simply need to tap your card to get it started. For others, you may need to set up an account online before you can activate the charger. The car will have a charging port somewhere on it, just like a fuel flap that you'll find on any petrol or diesel car. Pop it open and you'll find the port to plug your car in. Simply connect your cable to the charging port on your car and you're all done. So all that charging leads me nicely on to talk about performance and economy. With the bZ4X, there are two motors to choose from. Both use a 71 kWh battery. The front-wheel drive option produces 204 brake horsepower and has a claimed WLTP range of 270 miles, along with a 0 to 62 mph sprint being completed in 7.5 seconds. Whereas the all-wheel drive option produces 218 brake horsepower and has a claimed WLTP range of 255 miles and shaves that 0 to 62 time down to 6.9 seconds. Plug either of them into a DC charger and you'll get from 10% to 80% charge in just 30 minutes. But expect it to be around 9 hours if you're going from flat to 100% charge using an AC charger. So what's the bZ4X like to drive? Well, in a word, quiet. It's absolutely silent in here when I'm driving this car. It's one of the first things I'll notice about it, and that's because obviously it's an electric car, but it's also built to a high standard. So it's very, very quiet and very, very comfortable. The seating position, as I mentioned earlier on, I've managed to get myself very, very comfortable at the front here. Visibility, excellent. The A-pillars are quite thick, but they've installed this kind of like little window down the front here to make it a bit easier to see. Blind spot's fantastic, and a view out the rear window. Even though it's got that sloping rear window, it's quite narrow to look at from the outside. The visibility with this mirror, absolutely perfect. I cannot fault it at all. One of the first things I've noticed whilst driving this car is how it doesn't feel like an SUV. You do have that really good upright seating position in the car. Great visibility, as I mentioned, and that height that it gets from having an SUV. But it handles much more like a car. There's not as much body roll and stuff as you'd expect going into corners. And the other thing that I like about electric cars that this one's also got is the option for the one pedal driving mode. So this is where if you switch this on and you let you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will start slowing down and use that regenerative braking to charge the battery back up for you. And you can also turn it off if you don't like the feel of that, and then returns to using both pedals. So you've got your standard kind of brake accelerator set up with the car. There's also a whole range of drive rates all at your fingertips here on the steering wheel. So as I've mentioned before, we've got radar cruise control, speed limiter assist, we've got blind spot recognition in the mirrors here, so when there's someone in your blind spot that lights up orange. Got this wonderful dashboard at the front here, nice visibility, nice and clear to be able to see what I'm looking at, and it shows me all the information I need, such as my range. It shows me what driving aids I've already got on there, shows me whether it's regenerative braking under braking force. Yeah, it's all very, very crystal clear, very easy to understand. Now, I've already discussed the performance options with the two engines. This particular one that I'm driving now is the two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive model. That does mean it loses the X mode option, and it does have the slower of the two 0 to 60 modes, which is this one's at 7.5 seconds, I believe. But whilst that might seem long when I say it out loud, when you actually put your foot down, it's more than nippy enough. It gets you up to speed very, very capably, and it's more than enough to get you out of any trouble if you find yourself needing to zip around anyone. So I think that's everything. If you'd like to find out more about the bZ4X, please don't hesitate to contact the team at Davies Toyota. Get yourself booked in for a test drive and experience the car for yourself. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.